What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Boy National TV, and tonight I'll go on my AEW All Out review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please go watch the video before you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content like this. Hit that subscribe button because I'm on the road to 7K, because I'm on the road to 3K watch hours. Follow my social media down below in the description. And let's get started. Now, AEW All Out was a very good show, and I enjoyed the show for what it was. It says AEW All Out was live from Huffman East State, Illinois arena. It says after going all in at Wembley Stadium, AEW heads back to the Chicago area to go all out. AEW All Out Zero quick hour. I'm sorry, AEW All Out 0 hour quick results. The Acclaimed, Max Caster, and Anthony Bounce defeated the Iron Savages, Boulder and Bronson, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guerrero, and Hologram defeated the Premier Athletes Tony Nese, Aria Davari, and Josh Woods. The Bang Bang Gang, Juice Robinson, Austin Gunn, and Colton Gunn defeated Dark Order, Evil Uno, John Silver, and Alex Reynolds. Alright, Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, and Roger Strong defeated Top Flight Dante and Darius Martin and Action Andrade, and Shane Taylor, Lee Materi, and the Beast Mortals. Alright. It I'm sorry, that time has come to go all out. AEW All Out is that it. I'm sorry, the time has come to go all out. AEW All Out, that is. We are welcome to the Now Arena as the pay-per-view kicks off, immediately taking us to a video package highlighting the rivalry between MJF and Daniel Garcia, leading to our opening match of the night. We we head to ringside as MJF makes his way out first, staring down the crowd as he walks down the ramp towards the ring, only to be blindsided by bandage Daniel Garcia inside the ring. The referees check on MJF before calling in for the bell to get this match underway. All right, so we get MJF versus Daniel Garcia. This was a very good match. This was a good match to kick off the show. Daniel Garcia goes after MJF in the corner with a series of stomps before MJF tries to fight back, only to be sent right back for another series of stunts by Daniel Garcia. MJF managed to evade another rush of offense to take a breather on the apron before focusing on the neck of Daniel Garcia to turn things around. MJF sends Daniel Garcia to the corner not once but twice before posing to a jeering Chicago crowd. He goes back on the attack, but Darren Garcia sends him back with a right hand to get back into the swing of things, but not for long, as MJF gets him on the ropes until the ref intervenes. MJF backs away from the break, but just as quickly drops Daniel Garcia to the mat with a back suplex followed by a carpet, both men back to their feet as Daniel Garcia gets caught with a lifted DDT, but it's only good for a 2 count as Daniel Garcia kicks out. MJF goes back to work on Daniel Garcia's neck before hosting him up for a delayed vertical suplex, but Daniel Garcia fights out of it, only for both men to go over the top rope to the outside. Both men are down as the ref begins the count, with MJF managed to stir first as he slides into the ring. Daniel Garcia appears to be completely out of it until the referee reaches the count of 9, which brings Daniel Garcia to his feet, leaping under the ropes to get back in the ring. Both men are back to their feet once more, trading strikes until Daniel Garcia gets the upper hand to take MJF down to the mat, which is followed by a set of vertical suplexes and a twisting neckbreaker to wear MJF down even further. Daniel Garcia continues the attack until MJF fights out of the corner, catching Daniel Garcia in midair to counter with a powerbomb for a near fall. MJF pulls the bandages off Daniel Garcia's head, biting into the cut before the referee intervenes, but MJF used the opportunity to lay in some hard punches to bust Daniel Garcia open fresh off the glass bottle attack on Dynamite. MJF taunts Daniel Garcia before hitting another right hand, and then points to the corner He sets Daniel Garcia up on the turnbuckle looking for a tombstone power driver off the most dangerous ropes. But Daniel Garcia fights out of it, going after the head of MJF instead. Daniel Garcia drops him down hard with a diving DDT, sending MJF into the canvas. Daniel Garcia managed to drop an arm over the body of MJF for a cover, but MJF gets a foot on the bottom rope to force a break. Daniel Garcia gets back to his feet, looking for a pile driver, but the wear of tear on his body forced him to drop MJF to the canvas without an attack. This gives MJF an opening to get to the corner for a Long Island Sunset for a cover for his own. But Daniel Garcia managed to kick out. MJF gets to a standing position, mocking Daniel Garcia with some kicks to the head as Daniel Garcia starts to serve, rising to his feet with a look of rage on his face as he lands a fear of strikes on MJF, who responds with the thumb to the eyes of Daniel Garcia, which the crowd charging MJF calls for a brainbuster, but Daniel Garcia catches him with an inside cradle for a near fall, only for MJF to reverse into one of his own, which in turn leads to a set of near falls for each man. Both men get back up and go at it, leading to a roll up by Daniel Garcia for a near fall. That is reversed by MJF, but his body landing on the bottom rope forced a near immediate 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 break for the 2 count for the two get back up, only for Daniel Garcia to land a pair of German suplexes and a big clothesline to take MJF to the mat. Daniel Garcia back up as he looks for a power driver, only for MJF to counter into a Boston Crab. But Daniel Garcia is able to fight out of it, countering into the Libel lock. MJF fights out of it, rolling Daniel Garcia to his back for a break before locking in a crossface of his own on Daniel Garcia. Is forced to break the hold as he grabs his neck in pain, and this gives Daniel Garcia an opening to catch MJF with a sharpshooter. Daniel Garcia wrenches it back, leading to MJF fighting him off enough to counter into a salt of earth, which he transitions into a modified cross arm breaker. MJF twists the body of Daniel Garcia further, eventually trapping both arms and keeping him at bay until Daniel Garcia managed to catch the bottom rope with his foot to force a break. MJF head MJF heads to the corner looking for another sunrise, but Daniel Garcia drops to the mat, forcing MJF to drop back down. This turns out to be a ruse as Daniel Garcia catches him with a jackknife cover for a near fall before catching MJF with a front chancery. He lets go of the hold only to set MJF up for a jumping power driver that connects, allowing Daniel Garcia to make the cover, but MJF managed to kick out. Daniel Garcia is back up, staring at the corner as he drags MJF over, propping MJF up on the middle turnbuckle, but MJF fights out of a pile driver attempt, biting Daniel Garcia's head before shoving him away. The referee checks on MJF, who pulls him in as a human shield before hitting Daniel Garcia with a low blow and a jackknife cover that lets him snag the win tonight. The winner by pinfall, MJF. This was a good match right here to kick off the show. Despite the promise of breaking Daniel Garcia's neck leading up to the match, it seems as though MJF is going to play the role of sportsman as he raised up to offer a handshake to Daniel Garcia, who recruitingly accepts. MJF tries to sneak a boot to the gut, but the leg is caught by Daniel Garcia, who drops MJF to the canvas before staring at the corner again. Daniel Garcia sets MJF up on the turnbuckle, spitting in his face before delivering a power driver off the most dangerous rope to drop MJF's head onto the canvas. Daniel Garcia mocks him, moving him around before giving him a smooch and leaving through the crowd as medics check on MJF. Really good opening match between MJF and Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia, the heated rivalry between them, sitting to tone for the night. MJF picking up the win only to be hit with a power driver as a choice but Daniel Garcia gets his revenge all the same. Hashtag AEW All Out. All right, let's move on. Video package: Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta challenge the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team Championships tonight at AEW All Out. Back at ringside, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta make their way to the ring for our next match. They get into the ring before the tag champs come out next. The Young Bucks headed out next before this match gets underway. All right, so we get the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Young Bucks AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson defends against Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. And this tag team match right here, this was a fun tag team match. This match was fun for what it was. All right, we start off with Yuta and Nicholas as they lock up, with Nicholas wrenching the arm of Wheeler, who fights back, leading to the two trading holds until Yuta takes Nicholas to the mat for a senton, followed by a tag to Claudio Blackpool Combat Club with a double team until Nicholas fights them off, only to be dropped with a double shoulder tackle. Nicholas gets a sense of what it feels like to be a witch moon ahead of Thanksgiving before he escapes for a tag to Matthews, but he gets the same done to him for his troubles. Yuta tags back in as this continues when Nicholas tries to get involved, and the Young Bucks both feel it before Nicholas escapes to the outside, hurting his foot when he kicks the barricade. Back in the ring, Matthews managed to fight back enough for a tag to Nicholas, who gets the upper hand on Yuta once more, keeping Wheeler in the corner as he tags Matthews back in to continue wearing Yuta down. Tag made to Nicholas once again, who sends Yuta down hard to the canvas before Matthews tag in for a double team, further isolating Wheeler in the ring. But Yuta managed to make the tag to Claudio, who hits an uppercut on Nicholas in the corner before catching Matthews with a set of strikes. The Young Bucks try to fight back, are sent back to the corner instead, allowing Claudio to alternate uppercut on both men across the ring. They finally get out of the corner, but are both sent down by Claudio Cascano, the champ, trying to escape out of the ring, only to be hit with more uppercuts against the barricade on the outside. He brings Matthews back into the ring, hitting a diving crossbody for a near fall. He goes back on the attack before attacking in Yuta. Who fiends off Nicholas as Claudio props Matthews up on the second rope as Yuta sends Nicholas flying from the top rope only onto Matthews, forcing the latter to the outside. He fights Nicholas as Claudio goes after Matthews on the outside, but the Young Bucks turn things around until Yuta catches Matthews in the ring with a German suplex followed by the Malaysian shade of Brian Danielson, but Nicholas dives off the top rope to break the hold. Claudio rushing to send him to the outside as Yuta goes back after Matthews, only for the Young Bucks to turn things around, leading to a cover by Matthews, but Yuta kicks out. Matthews sets Yuta up on his shoulders, looking for more bang for your buck, but Nicholas is knocked off the ropes by Claudio as Ritter gets perfect pin on Matthews for a near fall. Claudio makes the tag as he goes after Matthews, but the Young Bucks reverse into a BTE trigger that gets a near fall. They pump up their kicks for a super kick party, but a follow up BTE trigger is fought off by Claudio, who ends up sending them to the mat with a double suplex. And Yuta catches Nicholas on the outside with a dive as Claudio hits a giant swing on Matthews back in the ring. Round and round he goes, round and round he goes, but with Yuta still outside, Claudio is forced to drop Matthews instead of a cover, which only gets a 2 count as Yuta gets back on the apron. Blackpool Combat Club looking for the double team, but the Young Bucks spice it. fights it off with matches going after Yuta turn the turnbuckles until Claudio leads up for an uppercut and he hits Matthews with a superplex followed by a splash by Yuta for the fastball special, but Matthews gets the knees up, catching Yuta with an inside cradle for the win to retain the tag titles. The winner by pinfall and still your AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. This was a fun tag team match. It says right here, fun match for the AEW tag team titles. Really good considering the relative lack of build. Remember, this match was made official a couple nights ago. Good showing by Blackpool Combat Club tonight, but the Young Bucks retain hashtag AEW All Out. Video package Pac has earned a shot at the AEW International Championship and wants to make sure no one has forgotten about him as he faced Will Ospreay at AEW All Out. Back at ringside, Pac sets out for our next match. He enters the ring looking like he's firmly on a mission before Will Ospreay makes his entrance, ready to defend the AEW International Championship tonight as this match gets underway. All right, AEW International Championship match: Will Ospreay defense against Pac. And this match right here, I ain't even gonna cap. This match right here, this was a banger match. This match was very good, and I enjoyed this match. Pac leaves the ring at the outside, drawing the air of the crowd before things finally get going. But once they do the two trade strikes and host leading to a standstill between champion and challenger, Will Ospreay sent to the outside as Pac goes up top for a sky twister only onto Will Ospreay on the floor. Pac brings him back into the ring, but the champion soon turns things around as he catches the challenger on the outside with a diving attack of his own. We get a look at Ricochet watching on from backstage as the action finally gets back into the ring with both men going at it once more. Pac gets the upper hand as he sends the champion to the corner for some stumps until the referee intervenes, which only gives a brief respite of Will Ospreay before Pac go after him again, followed by sending the champion to the outside. He sends Will Ospreay into the barricade. As the action returns to the ring once more, Pac sets the champ up on the top turnbuckle for an avalanche brainbuster. That was a brutal spot right there. Pac slowly makes his way over to Ospreay, chinching in a side headlock to keep the aerial assassin grounded to the canvas. Will Ospreay managed to make it to his feet. However, we are back to the two trading strikes until Will Ospreay sends Pac to the corner, but the challenger turns it around on him. With both men leaving the ring as Pac sends Will Ospreay towards the barricade, Will Ospreay stops himself, getting the drop on the challenger instead before he slides back into the ring as the referee checks on Pac. But this gives Will Ospreay an opening as he lands a Sasuke special on his opponent. Pac is brought back into the ring where the champ connects with a big kick for a cover, but Pac managed to kick out, keeping his hopes alive in this title match. He gets back up, sending Will Ospreay to the corner where he set him up for another avalanche brainbuster. But the champ fights out, setting Pac up for a cheeky Nados instead. Pac managed to turn things around for a DDT, follow a Liger bomb that gives the challenger a near fall. Will Ospreay goes right back on the attack, setting up an Os cutter that gets reversed by Pac. But the champion turns it around looking for a hidden blade. Pac escapes, setting up for a pump kick before Will Ospreay retaliates with a Os cutter for the ropes, grabbing his neck in pain before going for the cover, and Pac kicks out once again. Both men make it back to their feet as Pac goes for a swinging on as goes. I'm sorry. Both men make it back to their feet as Pac goes for a swing on the champ who counters with a nasty kick to the head. Pac gets to the apron as Will Ospreay looks for an Oscar, only for the challenger to counter into a suplex. Only to the hardest part of the ring. Pac sets the champ back up, hitting a poison runner onto the apron for more damage before sending Will Ospreay back into the ring to lock in the brutalizer. Will Ospreay is struggling but refuses to submit, crawling towards the ropes before forcing a break with a foot on the bottom rope. Will Ospreay is forced over to cover as Pac goes up top, launching himself for the Black Arrow, which is countered into a inside cradle by the champ for a near fall. Will Ospreay set up for a hidden blade, but that gets countered into a backslide, allowing Pac to build momentum as he counters a powerbomb into a hurricanrana for another near fall. Pac set Pac up to his feet again, nailing the champ with a kick for a near fall before transitioning into the brutalizer in the middle of the ring. Will Ospreay fights to his knees as Pac still has the hold locked and only breaking it to go for a poison rana, but the champ counters with one of his own, followed by a hidden blade. Will Ospreay with the cover, but Pac narrowly managed to get a shoulder up to stay in the match. Both men slowly get to their feet as Pac sets Will Ospreay up on the turnbuckle for a superplex. Will Ospreay lands on his feet, hitting a hidden blade that only gets a near fall, leading to Will Ospreay looking for a storm cutter, but that gets countered into a poison runner by Pac. Will Ospreay fights back for a Styles Clash, followed by one more hidden blade to get the win and retain his title tonight at AEW All Out. The winner by pinfall is still your AEW International Champion Will Ospreay. This was a good match. It says hell of a match for the international title. Will Ospreay and Pac really letting things rip in such a highly paced contest. Big win for Will Ospreay to retain the title tonight. Hashtag AEW All Out. All right. Video package. Their friendship between Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander has fallen apart, and now they collide in Chicago Street Fight at AEW All Out. We cut backstage to see Chris Statlander making her way out first in our next contest. Our next is Willow Nightingale's supporting something of a new look and a clear focus on winning the Chicago Street Fight as she heads to the ring before this match gets underway. All right, so we get the Chicago Street Fight match: Willow Nightingale versus Chris Statlander, and this Street Fight match was fantastic. This right here, this was fantastic. Fantastic Chicago Street Fight match between Willow Nightingale and versus Chris Statlander. This match was really good. The two stare each other down before Stokely hands Chris Statlander the chair they brought to the ring, but Willow Nightingale invades the attack to send Chris Statlander to the corner for a cannonball. Senton in a near fall. Chris Statlander rolls to the apron as Willow Nightingale grabs the chair, setting it up on the hardest part of the ring before a Death Valley driver. But Chris Statlander fights back, eventually swinging the chair against Willow's back. This commemorates this comrades in Chris Statlander setting Will Nightingale up for a powerbomb through the announcer table. Chris Statlander set up a table before grabbing Will Nightingale, sending her into the barricade over and over again, which gets Will Nightingale up on the table, climbing the turnbuckle while pulling off the pad before footing. But as she as she launches herself for a senton bomb, Willow Nightingale escapes the attack itself, only to be clipped on the head by Chris Statlander's leg. Willow Nightingale makes it back to her feet as she goes after Statlander, rising up, sending her former friend through the barricade. That was a brutal spot. The fight heads towards the ramp as Willow Nightingale continues to lay out the punishment, hitting Chris Statlander with a disgust elbow to drop her to the ramp. She continues fighting Chris Statlander up the ramp, now expressing her anger as she sets up for a vertical suplex onto the stage. but Kristen Leonard lands one of her own instead, calling for Stokely to grab this stuff. As Hathaway heads to the back for a trash can full of virus weapons. Another suplex leads to Chris Atlanta looking to use a barbed wire baseball bat, but Willow fights back, grabbing a set of light tubes that she cracks over the head of Chris Atlanta. Willow looks like she's formally on a path of violence, but now it is soon comes to a halt as Chris Atlanta shows her away before hitting Willow Nightingale with a spear that sends both ladies off the stage through a table. Kristen Leonard brings Willow to her feet before they head to the ring, but Willow Nightingale still manages to fight back until Kristen Leonard hits a body slam on, only for Willow Nightingale to respond with one of her own, which leads to both women down on the mat. They both end up leaving the ring, grabbing weapons before coming back in. Kristen Leonard has a bag, but Willow has a chain which she used on Chris Statlander after getting slapped in the face before biting at the head of her former friend. Chris Statlander eventually fight back, sending Willow Nightingale away before even unveiling thumbtacks from the bag. Chris Statlander has Willow Nightingale up, but Willow Nightingale fights back and evades an axe kick from Chris Statlander, forcing Chris Statlander to land split-legged on the tacks which hits her with the Death Valley driver, but Christian Lerner kicks out. The action ends up in the corner as Willow sets up on the turnbuckle, only to be fought up by Christian Lerner, but who hits a Spanish fly, sending Willow Nightingale down to the canvas. She grabs the chain for a disgust Larry for and the cover, only for Willow Nightingale to nearly get her shoulders up to stay in the match. Chris Statlander leaves the ring, grabbing what is described as a dog collar before getting back in to point it onto Willow Nightingale and herself. She goes back on the attack, but Willow Nightingale has an opening to be, fight back before the two go at it, trading strikes. This ends with the two dropping the canvas before Chris Statlander sets up for a tombstone power driver, but the Saturday night forever is not it for Chris Statlander. As she wraps the chain around the head of Willow Nightingale, Willa has no choice but to tap out, giving Chris Statlander the win tonight. The winner by pinfall, Chris Statlander. This was a good match. This was a good Chicago Street Fight match between Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander. This was good. Stokely, who ran off moments ago to evade Willow's wrath, she returned to the ring to celebrate alongside Chris Statlander while officials and medics check on Willow Nightingale. Beautifully brutal Chicago street fight. Greatly enjoyed the work Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander put into this. Had a good chunk of the feud ending vibes one would expect with Chris Statlander getting the win. Hashtag AEW All Out. Alright. Backstage, Renee Paquette talks to Will Ospreay, who is thrilled to retain the International Championship tonight, but calls out Ricochet to start racking up some wins and comes to see the champ. Ricochet steps in to congratulate the champ, but also to confront him, promising he will see Will Ospreay soon enough. All right, take my money to see Ricochet versus Will Ospreay. I would love to see that match. Alright, video package. Kazuchika Okada has quite the challenge ahead of him as he defends the AEW Continental Championship in a fatal four-way match against Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Konosuke Takeshita at AEW All Out. Back at ringside, Orange Cassidy is the first to come out for our next match. This is followed by Konosuke Takeshita, Mark Briscoe, and the champion himself, Kazuchika Okada, arrives to the ring before this match gets underway. Alright, so we get the AEW Continental Championship Fatal 4-Way match. Kazuchika Okada defends against Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Konosuke Takeshita. Alright, this Fatal 4-Way match right here, This was a great match. This was a great fatal four way match right here. I enjoyed this match. The four men stare each other down before Okada and Briscoe go at it, while Takeshita sends Cassidy to the outside. Okada does the same to Mark Briscoe, leaving us with Takeshita and Okada in the ring, but not for long as Cassidy slides to taunt them with his hands in his pockets. This stops by both men, but Cassidy gets Kanusuke Takeshita out of the ring before hitting a DDT on Okada for a near fall to catch it back in as Cassidy and Okada are clear out, but Mark Briscoe comes in, allowing these two to go at it. We get the pair trading chance before Takeshita rakes the eyes of the ROH World Champion, who fights back to sends Kanusuke to the outside. Cassidy comes in, but a fight between the combination is broken up by Okada and Takeshita, leading to Mark Briscoe and Cassidy sending them to the outside, followed by a pair of Cactus Jack inspired elbow drop off the apron. They bring the two into the ring for a double cover, switching places for what ends up being two near falls and nothing more. Mark Briscoe lays into Takeshita before Okada intervenes, only to be fought off by Orange Cassidy, allowing Mark Briscoe to get into it as well. But Takeshita fights him and Orange Cassidy off, sending the latter down hard with a suplex. Mark Briscoe hits one on Takeshita in response, only for Okada to hit a suplex on Mark Briscoe. Orange Cassidy backs up, but Okada counters with a suplex, sending him down as well. Mark Briscoe hits one on Okada, only for the Alpha to nail him with one. Orange Cassidy tries once more, but the Takeshita stops it, only for Orange Cassidy to hit Stun Dog Millionaire, allowing him to finally hit a vertical suplex on the Alpha. Orange Cassidy flexes as Takeshita gets to his feet, only to be caught with a boot from the corner by Orange Cassidy, who gets dropped to the outside by Okada. Okada gets on the turnbuckle where Mark Briscoe intercepts, sending him to the floor as well. Takeshita hits a dive on the outside, celebrating a little early as Mark Briscoe has a chair set up for altitude as he gets the drop on Kanusuke Takeshita. Will we end up with Mark Briscoe and Orange Cassidy alone in the ring? The conglomeration going at it with strikes before setting up for a high five. The crowd cheers as they go back to fighting, only for Okada and Takeshita to break it up and clears them from the ring. Okada and Takeshita give each other a wink smile before going at it, with Okada setting up for the Rainmaker lariat, but Kanusuke Takeshita counters into a Blue Thunder Bomb, which gets him a close near fall over the champion. I love that Blue Thunder Bomb by Kanusuke Takeshita. Alright, Orange Cassidy tries to get involved, but is hung up on the top rope by Takeshita, who lays into Orange Cassidy before setting up for an avalanche brainbuster, sending Orange Cassidy to the mat, only for Mark Briscoe to hit a froggy bowl onto the Alpha, covered by Mark Briscoe, but the champ breaks it up. The ring gets cleared out, save for Mark Briscoe as Okada taunts the crowd, only for Mark Briscoe to counter for a J Driller attempt. End up hitting a lariat on the Rainmaker instead before Takeshita rushed in for an attack that is met with a DDT by Orange Cassidy. Mark Briscoe and Okada, who clear out as Orange Cassidy goes for a stun dog millionaire on Kanusuke Takeshita, but Kanusuke Takeshita counters into a tombstone piledriver, followed by a deathlift suplex. Mark Briscoe catches Takeshita with a J Driller, but Okada pulls him out of the ring to break the pin. Chaos ensues until we are left with Orange Cassidy and Takeshita, who looks for a running knee, but Orange Cassidy counters, getting hands in his pockets to set up for a beach break. No pain. I'm sorry, not no pain. No pin comes, however, as Okada gets involved, followed by Mark Briscoe, who gets laid out with a Rainmaker lariat. The ring is cleared out once more as Orange Cassidy rushes at the champ, for an Norse punch, but Okada catches him with a Rainmaker Lariat, instead getting the win to retain here tonight. The winner by pinfall is still your AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada. Great four-way match for the Continental title. Chaotic but absolute fun with Okada picking up the win to retain. Hashtag AEW All Out. Video package. Hikaru Shida looks to become the first woman to have held the AEW Women's World Championship and TBS Championship, but to do so, she must overcome Mercedes Moné in a battle between the Ace and the CEO. Back at ringside, Hikaru Shida makes her way to the ring for our next match. Out next is the TBS champion as Mercedes Moné heads down the ramp looking to retain the title despite Camille being banned from ringside as this match gets underway. So we get the TBS championship match. Camille banned from ringside. Mercedes Moné defends against Hikaru Shida. And this match right here, this was a solid match. Alright. It says Mercedes Moné goes on the attack early, focus on Hikaru Shida, needs as she sends the challenger to the corner. The champ continues the attack on Hikaru, starts to fight back, locking in what can best be described as a stretch muffler until Mercedes Moné manages to get to the ropes to force a break with the champ still on the apron. Hikaru Shida leaves the ring to do more damage, leading into a rising knee bringing Mercedes Moné back into the ring for a cover that gets a near fall. Hikaru Shida sets the champion up in the corner, but is fought off, allowing Mercedes Moné to hit a double knee to the face for a near fall. Mercedes Moné continues the attack, however, sending Hikaru Shida back into the corner before attacking the head and neck. Hikaru Shida gets back to her feet but is quickly sent back to the corner by the champion, who hits a forearm on the challenger, sending her to the mat for a near fall. She continues to lay into Shida, but the challenger fights back for a sending Mercedes Moné to the ropes. Mercedes Moné back her up in the corner to stop the momentum, but the two trade hammer throws until the champ gets sent into the turnbuckles, giving Shida an opening to hit a missile dropkick on Mercedes Moné, who scrambles to the spike corners. Hikaru Shida mounts up for some punches. I'm sorry, before Mercedes Moné uh, fights back, turning the tide in her favor as she sets the challenger up on the apron, but Hikaru Shida fights back with a lariat that drops her to the mat. Both women make it back to their feet, trading strikes until Shida charges at the champ, who evades to send her challenger to the corner for another double knee attack, but the cover only gets a 2 count. Mercedes Moné starts mocking Hikaru Shida as she kicks the challenger in the head, bringing her back to her feet as she looks for the three amigos. She managed to connect with all three vertical suplexes, pulling Hikaru Shida to the corner before going up top. Mercedes Moné launches for a false splash, but Hikaru Shida gets her knees up. She follows up for the three Falcon arrows for the cover, but once again, Chuck Taylor is a liar because Mercedes Moné kicks out. Mercedes Moné back to her feet, going after the knee of the challenger once again with a dragon screw. But Hikaru Shida fights back with a German suplex and a running knee. Katana connects connects with as Shida makes the cover, but the champ kicks out. She evades a Katana attempt, but Shida lands a crisp looking one at almost on Mercedes Moné. She goes for one more, but Mercedes Moné rolls away from taking a burn of it before leaving the ring to grab a kendo stick. This leads to a tug of war with Shida, who has to fight herself from using it, a risk disqualification. Excuse me. This leads to Mercedes Moné setting Hikaru Shida up for a moneymaker, but the challenger fight out of it, only for Mercedes Moné to connect with it on the second try to pick up the win and retain tonight. The winner by pinfall is still your TBS champion, Mercedes Moné. This was a very solid match. Very solid TBS Championship match between Mercedes Moné and Sheeta. Looking back at AEW All In, I realized the rough patches, the rough patches around that bout, and this was at least a step above that. Someday Mercedes Moné will land a Chris Moneymaker, but she retains the title all the same. Hashtag AEW All Out. So we get a video package. Brian Danielson regain reign as AEW World Champion after All In sees the American Dragon defense against the Scapegoat as Jack Perry challenged for the top prize tonight at AEW All Out. We cut to a video in and seeing and telling that police are the most lookout for the scapegoat Jack Perry as he arrives to the now arena and his scapegoat bus before heading to the ring for our main event with what with with what appears to be a riot squad keeping watch at ringside. Out next is Brian Danielson, who is once again coasting costing AEW a pretty penny as Final Countdown hits to a big pop from the crowd here in Chicago. They sing along the theme song as Brian Danielson soaks the audition, leading to the ring introductions for champion and challenger before this match gets on the way. All right, so we get I guess what is it? So we get the next match, AEW World Championship. Brian Danielson defends against the scapegoat Jack Perry. And this match right here, this match right here, this was a awesome match, and that's all I gotta say. And yeah, this was a good match right here. So I enjoy this. The crowd is quiet behind Brian Danielson's chanting yes before the two men lock up. Jack Perry sends Danielson down, mocking him to some blues from the crowd. Jack Perry goes back after the champ, taking him down, withdraws a smirk from Brian Danielson as he gets back to his feet. They lock up again, with Brian Danielson getting a side headlock on the challenger before taking the ropes only for Jack Perry to catch him with an arm drag, posing for leaving the ring. Jack Perry takes a breather, watching around the ring as the champ um ops OPTS ops two, waiting for him to return. Jack Perry finally steps back into the ring as the two lock up, with Brian Danielson getting the upper hand before catching the leg of the challenger. This leads to the champ locking in a surfboard stretch, pulling back on Jack Perry before going after the face and eventually dropping him to the mat. Jack Perry back to his feet until Brian Danielson drops him, grabbing him by the wrist, but Jack Perry evades disaster, rolling out of the ring instead. Brian Danielson goes after him, but this turns out to be a mistake as Jack Perry goes back on the attack, setting the champ on the apron before dropping him to the floor. Jack Perry has a smile on his face as the crowd shows their disapproval. Jack Perry sets the champ up against the barricade, getting a running start before charging at him. He brings Brian Danielson back into the ring for a cover, but the champ kicks out. But the champ kicks out. He brings Brian Danielson to the corner now, taking a bite at the champ before dropping him to the canvas once more for a near fall. Jack Perry brings Brian Danielson to his feet for for a chop into the corner, but the champ responds with some of his own until Jack Perry cuts him off, blocking the mouth and noise from the champ to break free. He hits the champ. I'm sorry. He hits a chop on Brian Danielson, mocking the fans as he sets Brian Danielson up in the corner. But Brian Danielson breaks free, eventually landing some hard elbows to the head of Jack Perry. He climbs up, taking the challenger on a one-way trip to the mat with a master back superplex. Brian Danielson slowly makes his way back to his feet, laying into Jack Perry with kicks to the chest until Jack Perry responds by taking the champ down hard for a near fall. But but Brian Danielson managed to catch him with a libel lock, forcing on the challenger's hand until Jack Perry gets a foot on the bottom rope to force a break. Jack Perry tries to fight back, but is soon fought off by Brian Danielson, who goes for another submission hold on the challenger. But Jack Perry catches him by surprise with a suplex, bringing the champ to the apron to lay in further damage. This leads to an exchange of strikes between champion and challenger until Brian Danielson sends Jack Perry to the floor with a butterfly suplex off the apron. The action comes back to the ring as Bryan Danielson climbs to the turnbuckle, targeting the arm of Jack Perry before shouting at his challenger. He follows up with some hard kicks, but Jack Perry ducks a roundhouse, only to catch one in the back of the head by the champ. Bryan Danielson in the corner as he charged for a bazooka knee, but Jack Perry evades, countering into a snare trap. He got the hold in tight as Bryan Danielson struggles to finally grab the bottom rope, forcing a break. The referee starts to count, leading to Jack Perry marking Bryan Danielson by telling the referee he has to until 5. He brings Bryan Danielson to his feet as some fans chant, "Oh, cry me a river," prompting Jack Perry to mock the champ some more before hitting a lariat. The champ is back to his feet, however, sending Jack Perry to the corner as the ref checks on him, only to be pulled into the path of a Bazooka by Bryan Danielson. The ref is down as Bryan Danielson looks to kick Jack Perry in the head, but he sees the Bucks rushing down to intervene. The tag champs lay into Bryan Danielson, setting him up for a TK driver before taunting the fans. They they set the world championship up for a BTE trigger, but Claudio and Yuta rushed down to make the save, chasing the Young Bucks through the crowd. Back in the ring, Jack Perry sets the champ up for a running knee of his own before making the cover, but Bryan Danielson kicks out. Jack Perry is back to his feet, smiling as he grabs the arm of Bryan Danielson to begin kicking away at the champ's head and neck. He drops Bryan Danielson down before going to the corner, mocking Bryan Danielson's yes chance before running for a knee, only to meet met with a bazooka knee by the champ, sending Jack Perry down hard. The referee the begins the standing 10 count as both men start to stir. They fought their way up, trading strikes on their knees before making it to their feet. Before Jack Perry sends Bryan Danielson to the corner with the forearm, Jack Perry slaps the champ in the face, and this rallies Bryan Danielson up as the crowd mocks Jack Perry for making a critical error. Jack Perry hits a few more slaps, but this met with several slaps by the champ before being taken to the corner, allowing Bryan Danielson to get the opening for the bazooka knee. Bryan Danielson makes the cover, but the challenger kicks out. Bryan Danielson gets back to his feet, grabbing Jack Perry's arm before kicking away at his head and neck. The crowd is wheeling him on as Bryan Danielson continues the attack, finally letting go, letting go only to soak in the audition from the fans as he heads to the corner. Crowd chanting yes as Jack Perry gets to his knees, definitely inviting the champ to make the kill shot, and Bryan Danielson obliged with a bazooka knee covering Jack Perry to win and retain the world championship. The winner by pinfall is still your AEW World Champion, Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson celebrates on the turnbuckle, leading to the crowd to sing "Final Countdown," but the celebration is cut short by the arrival of Killswitch, who lays out the champion. He stares down his former friend and tag partner Jack Perry before we soon realize why Killswitch is out here. As Christian Cage makes his way out with the contract for a world championship match, fans are besides themselves as he heads down to the ring with the Patry, but he is cut off by Moxley staring him down at ringside. John Moxley is soon joined by Claudio Cascano, Yuta Wheeler, and Pac as Christian Cage and his crew retreats up the ramp. Pac and the Blackpool Common Club enter the ring, serving alongside Bryan Danielson until Claudio with lays the champ out with an uppercut. So Maria Shafir rushed into the ring to join the attack. as John Moxley used a plastic bag to choke Bryan Danielson out. With Pac holds Wheeler Yuta back from intervening, John Moxley finally does what he feels is suffocating damage as the group stands Yuta leave the ring, heading through the crowd as the medics attend to Bryan Danielson. I did not see this one coming. The Blackpool Combat Club turned on Bryan Danielson. I did not see this one coming. It says awesome match for the AEW World Championship. Great stuff from Jack Perry and Bryan Danielson. Here worthy of the CEO main event status, considering this was the final se- sensation about of the night. Big win for Bryan Danielson to retain the title. Hashtag AEW All Out. Post match situation is wild. Kill Switch attacking Bryan Danielson. Case looking to cash in his title shot, but it's cut off by the Blackpool Combat Club, who, aside from Wheeler Yuta, have turned on Bryan Danielson. Crazy stuff. Hashtag AEW All Out. Whatever John Moss has been talking about the past couple weeks, it seems it includes being on a collision course with the American Dragon. Holy smokes! Hey, holy smokes! Hashtag AEW All Out. So we get a video package. A few at least a year in the making culminates in tonight's second main event with AEW feud refusing a sanction what has become a light out steel cage match between Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland at AEW All Out. Back at ringside, Justin Ramos notes the lights coming off the signal the end of the sensation portion of the night before we start the lights out steel cage match. With that, Heyman Adam Page makes his way to the ring out for our final match of the night. Out next is Swerve Strickland, but after being held back all night, these two can't help themselves as they started going at it while the case starts lowering. Swerve Strickland eventually lays into Page as Chris Nana grabs weapons from under the ring, bringing them in as the cage continues to lower. Eventually, the two are clear of the cage, coming to the floor as this match gets underway. So we get the main event of the evening, the second main event match of the evening. So we get lights out, steel cage match. Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. This was a good match. And this is by far one of the best feuds in going all professional wrestling between Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. This is by far one of my favorite top five best feud in all professional wrestling. I love this feud right here. But this was a good main event match. All right, Page turns things around as he hits a fallaway slam on Strickland, but Swerve is quick to go back on the attack. This leads to both men trading blows until Strickland hits the Hangman with a flatliner flyby, sending him into the wall of the cage. Chris Nana yells a Page until Swerve looks to connect with a big pressure, only for Hangman to fight back with a forearm, but forearm Page heads over to the bucket as was brought into the ring, pulling out a stable gun before approaching a rising Swerve and shot Staples into the body of the thumbtacks. Swerve managed to grab the staple gun from Page. Responding in kind before dropping Page to the canvas, we see the staple embedded in Swerve's chest as he pulls one out before grabbing a set of Strickland family photos that were in the bucket as well and stapled one of them pictures in the chest for the Hangman, followed by stapling the couple of the head and neck for a good measure. That was a brutal spot right there. Heyman, Heyman Page escapes the corner. Heyman Page escaped to the corner as Strickland stares him down. Prince Nana continuing to shout abuse at Page for his transgression as Swerve grabs him, setting him up to the corner until Page fights back, only to be sent across the ring before Swerve props Page up on the top turnbuckle, putting him on his shoulders before slamming him into the cage wall. Swerve goes back on the attack, diving his boot into Page before backing away. Strickland used the ropes as he sets Hangman up, but this leads to two duking it out before Page slams Swerve against the cage wall and drops him on the ropes. Page continues to attack in the corner for a lariat before grabbing a piece of barbed wire, using it for a generally twisted on another lariat to Strickland. Page brings Swerve to his feet before sending him into the cage wall, yelling, "That's your man," at the crowd before sending Strickland into the wall again. For good measure, Swerve is still down as Page grabs the barbed wire, lacing through the cage, sprinting before grabbing Swerve, who stops himself from being sent into the wire, catching Page on the rebound instead. Swerve follows up and grabbing the Hangman, sending him to the barbed wire to bust Page open, but Page is able to fight back, busting Strickland open before punching away at the forehead into the opening and wounding further. And he then brings Swerve to his feet, running him against the barbed wire for even more damage before dropping him to the mat. Page goes right back at it through grabbing Swerve hair before coming back to his feet for a boot to Strickland. He taunts the crowd before heading to the apron, but the cage blocks himself from setting up for a buckshot Larry to provide going back on the attack to lay out Swerve Strickland before grabbing a chair that he used on Swerve. The ref is trying to put some sense into Hangman, who tells the ref to pick up the chair before Strickland goes after him, eventually using it to the ref as a launching pad for a rolling senton onto Page. Swerve Strickland is in control again as he grabs the chair to use on Page before prompting it in the corner. He grabs Page, sending the Hangman into the chair before going for a cover, but Page managed to kick out. Swerve is back up as he goes to the bucket once more, revealing a cinder block that he sets up in the middle of the ring. Bring he brings Page back up for a tombstone piledriver, but Hangman fights out as he looks to hit the dead eye only for Strickland to counter into a verdict breaker that scrapes Hangman's back against the center block. The block may not have been broken, but the damage is visible on Page as Strickland sets up the table that was brought in earlier. He goes up top looking for a swerve storm, but Page fights him off. This leads to two men finding it out on the top turnbuckle, but Swerve Strickland fights Page off enough to send him through the table with a swerve stomp covered by Swerve Strickland, but the Hangman isn't ready to give up as he kicks out once more. Swerve Strickland goes to the corner looking for a house call, but Page counters into a deadeye. Hangman with the cover, but Swerve managed to kick out to stay in the match. Page heads to the corner yelling whose house as he grabs what he reveals to be a piece of burnt wood from Strickland's home. Page looking to stab Swerve with it, but Strickland managed to pull it away before attacking Hangman Page with it instead. Swerve Strickland stands up almost in tears as he looks at the rename of his home, and this gives Page an opening as he sets Strickland up for a powerbomb onto the center block. Once again, no give from the block as Page goes for the cover, but goes for the cover for only Swerve to once again gets a shoulder up. Much Hangman's surprise we get a justified "This is awesome" chant from the crowd. Sorry couldn't help it as both men slowly get to their feet in spite of everything they've been through until Swerve sends Page into the cage wall with a powerbomb of his own, followed by a house call that sends Hangman into the wall. Once again, Page makes it to the middle of the ring, but is caught with another house call as Swerve goes for the cover, but Page kicks out yet again. Hangman Page is still down as Swerve climbs the turnbuckle only to go up towards the top of the cage until Page intercepts him for a powerbomb, bringing Swerve down to the mat hard. Page backs to his feet, but So is to Strickland, who takes a dead eye from Page, who still gets only a near fall for his efforts. Page backs to his feet as he grabs the chair, yelling at his rising Strickland to beg for mercy as he lands a couple of shots in the head. Swerve slowly rises again, simply laughing at Hangman holding up two fingers as he gets to his feet, only to drop right back to the canvas as Page feet. Hangman Hangman props up Strickland, promising he will embarrass Swerve as he pulls out Strickland's grill from his mouth before pulling it out at hyp, hypodermic needle from the bucket. No clue what's in that, but Paige ends up using it on the lips of Swerve Strickland before grabbing the chair once more. Lane Swerve out with a final shot to the head. Swerve completely knocked out as the referee calls for the bell. The winner of the match, Hangman Adam Page. The cage is rise up asthmatic and Prince now to check on Swerve Strickland while Page retreats up the ramp looking possibly satisfied with getting his revenge tonight, or maybe not bother as he starts coming back down the ramp. He eventually decides better of it, celebrating on the ramp as this crazy night of wrestling comes to a close. Absolute brutal main event between Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. One that I enjoyed almost every moment of it. It seemed these two go at it in ways they had made others when but the needle spot was what got me cringing. Through that cause I have a thing about needles. LOL. Hashtag AEW All Out. Hangman Page gets the win over Swerve Strickland, immediately satisfying his needs for revenge in one of a lights out steel cage match to end a wild night of wrestling. Hashtag AEW All Out on a pay per view that has been a number of surprises in past years. AEW All Out 2024 may best be remembered for simply being a good pay per view from in ring perspective. All through the stuff with John Moxley and Blackpool Combat Club is certainly a big development to keep an eye on the coming weeks. A, the worst match on the show was a still really good, and the best match absolutely phenomenal. What a night of wrestling! But now I'm exhausted. LOL. Hashtag AEW All Out. And AEW All Out goes off the air. All right, let me give my honest opinion what I think about AEW All Out. Now, AEW All Out was a good show, and I enjoyed the show for what it was. One of my favorite matches of the night was Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland in a lights out steel cage match. The feud between Hangman Page and Swerve Strickland is by far one of the best feuds in all professional wrestling. This is my top five favorite feuds of all time. Go, this is one of my favorite top five between Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. This feud between Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland by far in my top five one of the best feuds in all professional wrestling, and you know that's facts. AEW knows how to tell the story in AEW. You know that AEW has his hits and miss. At the same time, in my own personal opinion, AEW knows how to tell its own story, just like WWE knows how to tell its own story. But that's just another topic by itself. But I'm gonna focus on AEW right here, knowing how to tell its story. That's just my own opinion. But anyway, if you guys made it this far in if you guys made it this far in the video of my AEW All Out review and highlights, please give this video a big fat thumbs up. Comment down below what your thoughts on AEW done, AEW All Out. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to my channel because I'm on the road to 7K for more wrestling content, along with that 3K watch hours. Follow my social media down below in the description, and I will make a YouTube short video, and then that's it. I'm gonna go take I'm gonna go get some you know what I'm saying, get some rest because I'm pretty tired. But anyway, I ain't gonna make no excuse. But this Monday, you'll get a WWE Raw review and highlights, just to keep my content going. But help me get to 3K watch out so I become YouTube partner. Make sure you guys, and I need everybody on board to keep watching my videos. Hashtag keep watching. It's the only way that I get YouTube partner. But I still will go live. Like when October 11th comes around, I am locked in. I will stream Dragon Ball Spark Zero live on YouTube when Dragon Ball Spark Zero gets here. I'm gonna stream it live on YouTube just to show you guys some exclusive gameplay. You guys got to see the gameplay by itself. But anyway, enough of me talking. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.